All right, we're live. Welcome back, everyone. J Bone here for Smash This podcast. Coming at you on a Wednesday night. So we start calling these Vice #Viceland Wednesdays. We had Dark Side of the Ring, and now we have The Wrestlers. A brand new series that looks like it's going to be an absolute blast watch if you're a fan of wrestling, especially if you're a fan of the indies. And from what it looks like, this this series is going to go all over the world, which is pretty cool. Very unique. Uh, this first episode. Now I don't know why, but when I looked up DVR, it said episode number 2, but this is the first series that showed up. So, and next week it says F number 8, which is number 2. So I don't know. I'm not sure why it says that. Um, I have to ask the producers that, or depending on when it was copywritten and or made makes a big difference. I guess I don't know. Like they put them in a certain order, but they decided to air them in a different order. I don't know, but I don't think there's any right or wrong to do this, especially if they're about several different areas of the world, different timelines, different people. You know, um, this was interesting because this particular timeline for this episode was from 2 years ago. Um, and I reference this content every great once in a while. And what I'm talking about is the line of when Flow Slam was around. And everything I watched on that took place during this show, I remember watching live on Flow Slam. Racist Fan Rocks is up in the chat. What's up? Is this on TV? Yes, it's on the channel called Viceland on Wednesday nights. Um, what this episode was about was a time in independent wrestling. Evolve was, in my opinion, getting a whole new bunch of watchers. I mean, it's what it felt like for me. It was new for me. I was watching a bunch of new independent wrestling at the time. Uh, It was whatever was on Flow Slam. And there was so much on there. And for $20 a month, it was such a good deal. Um, it mainly followed Gabe Sapolsky, excuse me, um, who runs Evolve, and it is what's so interesting is where Evolve is 2 years ago to where now, because right around the time that he filmed this, that Viceland for Dame said that the guy who produced this was Damian Abraham and his crew. Props to him, by the way. Um, they really put this. That this was, like I said, this was so much fun to watch because all the stuff that happened in the ring, I live, and to see where everything was 2 years ago and how it evolved till now, but where now that they talk to in this timeline just kind of blew my mind. I was like talking out loud to the TV throughout the whole thing, like, oh, I remember, okay, for example, like I said, this is all following Gabe Sapolsky's company. At the time, am I pleading internally? Darby Allin. Just getting to that. Darby Allin versus All Ego Ethan Page. 2017 feud of the year. And people may look at me and scratch their head, but if you follow the indie scene and if you watch Flow Slam evolve and followed their course over the course of a year, or their story over the course of the year, excuse me, man, it was brutal, it was violent, but it wasn't just violence for the sake of violence. They told a story, just like in the show. Gabe giving props to Darby and Ethan for this feud, and it was just so much fun to watch, and just to see another side of it um from this producer's and the camera was just amazing. Darby is not a sane human being. Um, he's different. He's different, all right. He goes by he you know he drives his own boat, so to speak, down his own river. Um, and just to see where everyone was then compared to where they are now, just a very short 2 year period later, is just a little mind blowing. What's up, Jackson? So yeah, they're talking to Abe, who's been in the business for 24 years, started in ECW, went to Ring of Honor, now Evolve, and now Evolve is come like a development slash feeder system to NXT. It's like the next big step. Um, but what's interesting is not everyone from this timeline ends up in NXT. And I was shocked when, a handful of these people who are featured in this episode didn't end up going. And let's talk about that. Um he talks to the likes of, well, Darby featured, Oligo Ethan Page, Fred Yehi, Austin Theory, and a few that we see in the battle, like Matt Riddle, Drew Galloway, aka Drew McIntyre, ACH, Stokely Hathaway, and I'm like writing all these names down, and I'm like, oh, this person's here, this person's there. It's crazy. They talked about AR Fox School at the time wearing a Lucha Underground shirt, because he was Dante Fox. Oh, excuse me. That's where I became a big fan of his. Um, Keith Lee in the background, he was there just for like a second. Message retracted. I saw you put AR Fox. You didn't have to retract it. It's okay, critical thing. um, the whole catch point um, storyline back then was great. Stokely Hathaway taking over catch point and half of the people just leaving, like Matt Riddle, bro. That was like the whole start of the bro stuff back 2 years ago. Um, what's for supper? You talking about me, or was that something in the show? I don't know. But yeah, let's compare timelines here just for a bit. Darby Allin, within the last month, just put out a promo skating around and then lighting the parking lot on fire. Flames form AEW. He signed with AEW. He's going to debut soon, somewhere within the next few months. I don't know if he's on, if he's going to be on Double or Nothing. I don't think he is. He could end up in the, what's that called? The Casino Battle Royal. There's a few slots open. I don't know. It's a PG show. It's a documentary. As I guess it's like PG-13, I guess. I don't know. I didn't look. They show blood, so I don't know. It's show the violence of the indies. I don't know. So yeah, Darby and AEW. All Ego Ethan Page, who it's a Smash This Podcast a PG show. I cuss once in a while. Anyways, I could make it PG-13 and flash my man boobs too. Anyways, which I'm not going to, because then I'll get, I'll probably flagged or some crap. Ollie Go Ethan Page, who I thought at the time was going to end up on top of, I mean, he was headlining at this time with Darby Allin, top heel in the company, in my opinion. And I thought he was going to end up champ right around this time period, right after the Darby Allin in after that stuff. But no, he ended up leaving and became one of the hottest free agents. And then over the course of this last year, joined Impact Wrestling. Just, it's crazy how things happen. Fred Yehi, one of my favorites in Evolve at this time. Now he's in MLW. He's been over in Japan. I'm not sure if he's still considered on the roster for MLW. I'm not positive. He was in Filthy Tom Lawler's crew for a while this past year. Not sure, but one of the best technical guys I've seen. They showed his match with Kyle O'Reilly, and that was Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish's time between Ring of Honor and NXT. It was a several month period where they just kind of, laid low and did their own thing. That's what they did back then. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, Jackson, you come up with some crazy stuff tonight. Where was I? Fred Yehi. Top wrestling in down south, how that can be very challenging, and then working successfully for a company like Evolve at the time, but he's not with them anymore. So that's one that I've got to look into and see what he's been up to, because MLW on a regular basis, but I haven't seen him lately. So we'll see where he pops up next. But the guy's so talented, he deserves to, absolutely. Matt Riddle, we know he won big things. He's in NXT, he's rocking into there. Stokely Hathaway also finally got signed with the WWE. Tremendous managing talent. The guy's so damn funny. It's crazy. And I this is another place where I found out about him, how good he was on Flow Slam, watching Evolve. MLW is taking over. Your icon's purple as opposed to, or your icon's green as opposed to purple. Is that a new thing you did to it or something? I don't know. Welcome to. You're going on a date tonight. Okay, congrats. Congrats, Jackson. You better go get. I'll catch up with you later, goof. The green is the weed. All right, you guys are cracking me up tonight. Keith Lee, another one who slowly becoming very hot during this time period in Evolve. Austin Theory. They do a section on Austin Theory. Jeez. Oh, you guys are a riot. Talking about Austin Theory for a while, being interviewed by Damian Abraham and his family and his upbringing and how he got into wrestling, all very interesting. And I said this back then, and I still say it now, that Austin Theory next Shawn Michaels. Okay. And I mean that with the highest compliment. And I think he can be, excuse me, if Austin Theory end up getting picked up by Trips in NXT, I'm going to be shocked. I'm a little surprised that he's not there already because I've seen how good he is. But the kid has he's got $1 million potential. He totally does. Who else did they talk about here? Talked about the feud between Darby Allin and All Ego Ethan Page, interviewing him separately, and kind of getting in the mind of Darby. Like I said, he's a different individual, you know. Straight edge, which he doesn't look like he is because he looks like a punk rocker, so he looks like he does a lot of crazy shit, but the guy's straight edge. His idol, the two people that inspired his name were not straight edge. He makes that point. But yeah, the guy is on fire. Both he and All Ego Ethan Page are on fire right now, and it's just funny to see where both of them have gone and what have they've. Like I said, it's been 2 years. They've gone from the hottest feud of 2017, in my opinion, to now 2 completely separate paths. But this was so much fun to watch and to look behind the scenes of what was going on with these wrestlers at that time. Because I remember like I said, everything that we saw in the ring in this episode of the wrestlers, I watched live on Flow Slam. So that was, to me, that was like just a great flashback. Because I'm Flow Slam at the time. It's a shame it went away. It was just bad business on somebody's part. You know, I'm not going to throw blame wherever. It happened, you know, just whatever happened. And, but yeah, such is the wrestling industry, and crazy shit happens. But yeah, this episode was great. This first episode of the wrestlers, and getting behind the scenes of everyone at the time, from Gabe Sapolsky down to the the rookies on the card like Austin Theory. Watching them come up was a blast. Thank you, Damian Abraham, um, who is the interviewer in this, the director, producer, I guess, whatever you would call his title in this series. Props to you, sir. Amazing job. And yeah, I can't wait to see the other 9 episodes. And like I said, it's interesting. Just go nationwide. This one goes all over the world. And all the way to like parts of Africa from what I saw in the previews trailer. So let me know what you thought of this show in the comments. If you're watching my video and you haven't watched this show, you can go to what the hell is it? Is it Viceland? You know what? I'm just gonna quick look it up. Let's see, Viceland.com. Is it on this one? I saw it earlier. Yeah, you can go to Viceland.com and it's the first thing on there. You can click it and it has the first episode already on demand. The best new talent in America, episode 1. So, go check it out. Tremendous new series. Absolutely love it. Hey, actually got a like from All Ego Ethan Page. Tremendous. Yeah, go check it out. And we'll be back tomorrow for, I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe we'll take the day off. Who knows what we're going to do. But thank you all for tuning in. You guys in the chat are just crazy tonight. I'm not going to read everything now. I'll read it later. Oh, goodness. But yeah, series, go check it out. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when my content hits your screen. The new t-shirt shop is up in the link below. Check it out. Go get yourself a new Smash This Podcast t-shirt for the summer. We're finally getting some warm weather around here. God, 80 today. Go get me a tank top. Get you one too. Take care, folks. Good night.